Hi, this is Leneen Faith, and you're listening to Chasing Dreams with Amy J.
Welcome to Chasing Dreams podcast with Amy J. Amy believes that realizing a life without regrets is achieved by taking chances, chasing your dreams, making moves, and overcoming your doubts. The Chasing Dreams podcast will help you overcome life's obstacles, believe in your potential, and inspire you to face your fears. And now here's the woman who is passionately pursuing her dreams, Amy J.
Hey Dream Chasers, this is Amy J, and you are listening to episode 103 of Chasing Dreams. Yes, folks, if you are just tuning in, we are in the triple digits, and in triple digit style, I'm bringing you another cool guest, a new friend of mine. Her name is Leneen Faith. She is a wife, a mom of three, elementary school teacher, author, and CEO. I mean, that's like 5 titles right there, guys. Despite her full plate, she continues chasing her dream of inspiring children to be kids with character. The dream nearest and dearest to her heart is her children's brand, The Adventures of Peacebe and the Heartwatch. Peacebe is currently an 8-book character education series that's in 20 schools. However, Leneen's dream is for her brand to become a cartoon on a major cartoon network. Leneen is a firm believer that you can never be too busy to chase your dreams and fulfill your purpose. And come on, doesn't that just sound like she's perfect for the show, guys? I'm just saying she is. And she's taking time out of that busy schedule amongst all those titles to be a Chasing Dreams guest. Add that to the title. Leneen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Amy. I really, really appreciate this opportunity to speak with you tonight.
Now, I am so curious about this. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I was right. 5 titles in your name, right? Wife, mom of 3, elementary school teacher, author, and CEO. And I'm sure everyone's tired of the, hey, how do you sleep? But truly, with 3 kids, how do you sleep?
To be honest, it's something that I have learned over the years, because at the beginning it was just really, really tough. But one thing that has helped me is, let's say I'm in the classroom and I'm teaching. That's the only thing I'm thinking about. When I'm with my kids, then my kids are they're the only things that the only thing that I'm thinking about at the time. Or with my husband, when I'm working on Peacebe. So that's the only thing I'm thinking about, or kids need character, or things with church. So basically what I've learned to do is to be where you are. If I'm in the classroom, then I'm going to give my best in the classroom. When I'm with my kids, then I'm going to make it fun for them. And yes, you are tired at the end of the day, and I'm working on that, like with the vitamins and things like that. But that has found me peace, because too often I would mix my roles in. Sometimes I would go to work and then I'm thinking about Peacebe, or I'm with my kids and I'm thinking about all these other things. I learned about maybe 3 years ago that I have to be where I am and enjoy and make the best of each moment. So I'm big on things to-do lists. That's kind of how I live my life, and then in that list are the different roles. So I'll just write down what I have to do in each role to make sure, that I get it done, but also enjoy life in this process as well.
So are you, by any chance, as a techie as I am, are you using an app to help you with this list, or old school notebook?
I'm old school.
Oh, all right.
I'm old school because I'm a writer at heart, and I need to learn. I'm open to learning like apps. But anybody who knows me, I love journals. So I write everything down. So yeah, I am old school, but I do need to get hip to technology soon.
Well, I mean, it's a step process, right? I mean, you're at least doing the list thing. Maybe you'll find one that works. There's so many out there. That's almost the problem, right? Option paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
But let me
exactly.
But as an old school person writing on the notebook, the question then becomes, did you always want to be an elementary school teacher?
Actually, when I was 5 years old, I realized I wanted to be a teacher, and I helped my little brother. I come from a big family, and I helped my 2 younger siblings learn how to read. But when I went to college, I kind of switched it up, and I thought I wanted to be a child psychologist. Then I ended up switching back to what I've always wanted to be, which was an elementary school teacher.
So then you've always wanted to be a teacher. You're doing that currently. Let's talk a little bit about your children's brand, The Adventures of Peacebe and Heartwatch. Has that been a long time dream, or is that something that came up after you began teaching? Tell us a little bit about the backstory.
Sure. Peacebe, believe it or not, was actually before teaching. It was actually even before me having children.
Really?
My son's 11, and the idea came about a year before he was born. So in 2005 is when I got the idea for Peacebe. Literally, no joke, the idea just popped in my head. I was at a training, not relating to teaching. I was like fresh out of college and, looking for jobs. And the training it was kind of boring. So my mind wanders off, and I love kids. I've always loved kids. And the idea literally just popped in my head, like a little boy with a watch helping kids do the right thing. So I wrote out the first story at the training, and the lady that I was sitting next to, she was a little bit older than me. And I said, "Can I read this to you?" And after reading, I was like, "Would you ever read that to your kids?" She said, "Yes, of course." So that's literally how I got the idea. However, I didn't do anything with it, anything substantial. I would write things here and there for 5 years. So I got the idea in 2005. And then it wasn't until I became a pool substitute teacher in the Broward County school system that I saw they had a great character program. So what I decided to do, once I became a teacher, and I realized how I could write the stories. By that time, I already had 2 children, and I realized kids need structure. Like when you watch Dora, you know what's going to happen in the beginning, middle, and end. Sure. So from that, I was able to realize, okay, I'm going to write these Peacebe books based on character traits, and I'm going to teach kids, through Peacebe and the Heartwatch, how to be kids with character. So that's how I got the 8-book series, and it's been a long but awesome journey, and it still continues. So that's how the idea came about.
And guys, you can check out and learn more about Peacebe at peacebekids.com, and totally worth checking out. And anyone listening to this has in with networks, you should check it out because it's great for, let's get it on the air. I mean, that's one of your dreams. You said, as I said in the beginning, that you wanted a major cartoon network. I mean,
yes,
this is really cool. I've looked at it. I've read some of the characters that you have, and I love it. I love it. I mean, I'm assuming you're pulling from your background as a teacher and the things you've seen.
Yes, 100%. The first series includes a lot about the classroom, and I see so much as a mom and as a teacher. So I see the need for character in our kids because the media is pushing, sometimes you see the other thing being pushed. And I feel it's important to balance it out and show kids it is cool to be a kid with character, to be respectful, to be kind and compassionate. But you don't want to make it boring either, because you want to make it exciting for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's a way to get kids excited, but then adults are also happy because it's teaching good values at the same time.
Sure. And let's a few of the titles you guys can kind of be familiar with. The Mystery Airplane, Kids Can Make a Difference Too, Choose Honesty. I mean, these are fantastic. And are these like just the beginning?
Yes, Amy, it is. It is the beginning. The funny thing is, it's the beginning. But like I said, it's been about 12 years going. However, I have so many ideas in my head. This is just the first of, I have about 20 different series ideas. And within each series, there's like 10 books. So it's about over 100 different ideas. But instead of overwhelming myself, what the plan is to get this series out as best as we can, make it become a cartoon, and then, eventually it get picked up by like a publishing company, and then I could write or give, then I can give, those other titles can be published in time. But right now, it took a while for this to happen. So I'm just trusting the process, but there are many, many more ideas in my head for Peacebe.
And you're in 20 schools. Can you talk a little bit about how you made that happen?
Yes. Actually, I've been teaching for about 7-8 years. And it was probably 3 years ago, I decided to take a year off. And within that year off from teaching, I just literally knocked door to door, school to school. I used to do an internship in college where I sold books door to door. So I kind of was prepared with that background. So I put together a great presentation, and then I spoke with as many principals that I could. And, they got the books in their schools, but I'm only one person. I realized that it's a lot of legwork that way. So I went back into teaching, and this year I'm chasing my dream again, Amy. So I'm taking another year off this year, and I learned a lot of what I'm not going to do and what I'm going to continue to do. So this time around, I'm going to do it a little bit better, So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I'm taking this year off again, and I'm going to be working on different avenues to get Peacebe out there, not just the school.
So that one, I commend you for taking the time off. That's awesome that you're dedicating a year to chasing your dream. That's not an easy decision for a lot of people to make, though.
No.
And so I got to ask, what went through your head when you're thinking about that? Because oftentimes people are like, I'm just going to quit my job. That's it. You're not doing that. You're saying, okay, I'm just going to take a year, focus on a year. Why that? Why not just focus on it full time? And what kind of did you think about as you were kind of going through that decision process?
Well, because we have 3 kids,
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty of it is teaching will always be there. And in my heart, it's give it my all this year.
Sure.
And maybe there won't be a need to go back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, what I want to make sure I do in this year off is that every single thing that I've written down or I've typed up, that I check it off, that I actually do it, that I don't let fear get in the way because I did that last time. The list is at least 50, 75 different things that needs to be done. And some things that seem a little intimidating, I kind of shied away from it and did the things I felt more comfortable with. But this time around, I'm just, going after every single thing that I know I need to do. And at the end of the year, I could say I've given it my all. School will always be there. And if I do everything, then there might not be a need, because I love kids, but I would be able to impact kids on a greater level if Peacebe was where, I believe it will be in the future. In the classroom, you definitely, teachers' job, it's not easy at all. And you're definitely making a difference. But it's my passion. I just want to get kids excited about being kids with character through Peacebe and the Heartwatch. So I want to give it the best I can this year and trust and see what happens in the end.
Now you have someone helping you out with Peacebe and the Heartwatch. You have an illustrator, a co-founder, it would seem, right?
Yes, it's my brother.
Yeah. Yeah. And
yes,
so what's it like chasing your dream with family?
It's awesome, Amy. I'm not even joking, because I've heard the other side.
Yeah.
But I love my family. My mom raised us. I have 4 brothers and a sister, so it's 6 of us, and she raised us all on by herself. And we've learned from a young age the value of a good attitude and hard work, and also waiting. Waiting and trusting the process. So working with family has been a blessing for me, because not too many people would, still be by your side after so many years of not seeing the actual dream come true. Mm-hmm. And it's not only my brother, David Campbell, who is the illustrator. My other brother, Paul, invested in our company to get it where it is today. So without both of them and the support of my husband, my mom, and my other siblings, I couldn't do this, so so that's kind of, it's a great thing, because my brother and I, especially David and I, are just as invested in Peacebe, because he's put hundreds, maybe thousands of hours into Peacebe. And there's times when I get down and I'm like, is this really going to happen? Am I just chasing this dream? And,
right.
And then he'll encourage me. And then sometimes it's vice versa, so it's a blessing. And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else other than my family.
And it's The talent's all over the family, guys. I mean, the illustrations that are in this book are fantastic. And again, peacebekids.com. You can go there. You can see it. You can even buy the books from there. Is that the only place people can buy the book? Is it on Amazon or anything like that? Traditional bookstores or anything?
Not right now. And that's part of me taking that year off.
Mm-hmm.
Like Barnes and Nobles and Amazon. There's so many different avenues and things that we have to do within the next year. But right now you can get it on our website.
So let me ask you, because I'm looking at your website, I'm looking at the titles, and you talked about how there are a number of other series that you could also be done, right? And the ones in these the 8 areas that you've looked at for the first set include self-control, honesty, cooperation, respect, kindness, citizenship, compassion, responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
How did you decide on those? Why were those the first set?
Well, how I got that was by being in the school system. So in many school systems, different counties, they teach character education. So let's say September is cooperation. October is responsibility. November is citizenship. So throughout the 9 months of school, they usually have 8 different character traits because June is so quick. May and June, they combine. So that's kind of how I was able to figure out, okay, these are going to be the topics of the books because schools are teaching this anyway, you know, and I know it's like schools are still teaching this because we're so like, you know, there's so many testing and things like that, but many school systems, they know the value of teaching character education. And I was fortunate enough to meet the superintendent, and he explained the need to also include the reading standards. So that was before we went to print. So I was so grateful that I met him at an event randomly and show him. He's like, well, make sure you include comprehension questions in the reading standards. So that's why it works so well in the school, because teachers are able to, you know, get the best bang for their buck. They're able to teach kids character, and they're also including the reading standards as well. And then the kids are having a great time, and they love Peacebe too. So it's pretty cool.
Have you gotten feedback from teachers and students even, or parents about this series and what it's meant for them? And how does that make you feel?
There's one school in particular that they painted a mural for Peacebe. Like,
no way.
And yeah. And when I tear up, and that's why I'm excited for this year off, because there's so much I want to give back to so many of the schools. But this one school in particular, they painted a mural, not only just like there's about 4 or 5 walls in their hallway dedicated to Peacebe. One little boy came up to me. He was in 5th grade. And sometimes people think, you know, and that is kind of our market, kindergarten through 2nd. However, this principal bought it for the entire K through 5. And the 5th grade boy, he was so excited to meet me. And his teacher was like saying, doesn't he look just like Peacebe? Doesn't he look just like Peacebe? And to me, I'm like, he's in 5th grade and he's looking up to Peacebe, who is a kid with character. That has power, because there's so many like not positive role models out there. And to me, it reminded me of my purpose, you know,
Sure.
And it reminded me that this dream is bigger than me. It really doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm just the vessel. And it reminded me that there's a need for it. And kids are excited about it, and it can, you know, positively shape their lives. So it's motivating. You get letters, you see the difference with the kids. And when you hear administration, that some of the schools that have purchased get excited about the books, then it reminds you that, okay, you're not crazy. It's just going to take a lot of work, you know, but keep going, because there are people that believe in it, and that there are kids that need it.
Real quick, how did you figure out the publication process? I mean, this looks like a quality publication. I don't think you went to Kinko's and put this thing together.
No.
I mean,
no, not at
real.
all. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Well, honestly, the publication, my brother's super talented, and he is a perfectionist. Like, you know, people say they're a perfectionist and they're really not, but my brother is a perfectionist. So he's familiar with that area, that lifestyle. I'm more, I write and I'm more, kind of go with the flow. But David would not put out anything until it was top quality. So we have a local printer that we work with, Green Toad Printing in Miami, and he's printed the books for us. My brother was actually basically he put everything in the computer, and he formatted it to get to the printer, and the printer did it. So it is. I mean, that's 100%. I'd have to give props to my brother for that, and obviously our printer as well. But it is something that it is top quality. However, Amy, our goal is to actually get like a publisher, like a Scholastic, so that way we're not doing so much legwork. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So we're still navigating, how do we do this, So that's part of the reason why I'm taking this year off. And I'm hearing a lot, you have to get a literary agent and things like that. So I'm excited for this year because there's so many different avenues within Peacebe that we haven't fully tapped into yet.
But see, I think that's the great thing, is that you haven't waited until all the chips were outlined before you started this.
Very true.
I mean,
that is,
you would have kept the world from meeting Peacebe.
Oh, thank you. That is true. And there was actually a part of the journey where I was a little, I kind of held on to it for a little bit. And then I realized, there's no point in that, because like I said, it's not about me. It's to help other kids and to get them excited about doing the right thing, but in a fun way. So it hasn't been an easy process, and I'm getting into the next phase of it. And I know it's not going to be easy, preparing myself for that, but I'm also going to stick with it, and I'm just going to take this full year off and just give it all I can.
Now, is there any, you talked about getting onto having the brand on a Cartoon Network of sorts, right?
Yeah.
Morning show, whatever, for kids. What else do you imagine Peacebe can do? I'm pretty sure. I was going to say, I'm pretty sure this is like tip of the iceberg kind of thing.
Yes, it is. Couple things. Peacebe has a magical watch, and that's like his sidekick, Heartwatch. We want to do toys with Heartwatch. We want to do like costumes, birthday parties, book bags, apps. My brother mentioned apps a couple days ago. And we have an opportunity coming up, and, I don't want to jinx it, but we'll see what happens, where there might be an opportunity for me to be able to write Peacebe books for other countries. But that's something in the making. But right now, the ultimate goal right now would be to have Peacebe on like a major cartoon network like Nick Jr., because I'm a mom with 3 kids, and they love Nick Jr., and that's kind of where I see it. But obviously anywhere is awesome. There's just so many different avenues for Peacebe, live shows, and yeah, there's a lot. So, but we started with the books, and take it little by little and see where it grows.
But that's the thing I love, and that's the thing I wanted to hear, was that you guys aren't thinking small. I mean, you already got an 8-book series here, so clearly you're not. But even though you have grand plans, what's exciting is that this seems possible. You have a website and, videos. And if you guys, on your Instagram page, or I can't actually remember where I saw it, I thought I saw a life-size Peacebe.
Oh, yes, we do. We do. And that's, we have a mascot.
You have a mascot?
We do. And we have a dance, like the Peacebe dance. One of the guys from my church, he produced the theme song that we haven't let that out on social media yet. We're working on it. But when we go to schools, the kids dance to the Peacebe dance, and I read the books, and then the mascot gets them excited, and then we close with a dance. So, and that's something we can do right now. That's not something we have to wait for, like the cartoon, Yeah. So this time around, I don't want fear to hold me. It's not going to hold me back, because honestly, the first year that I took off that leap of faith, a fear held me back in certain areas. But there's so many things that we can do with what we have right now, being the books, the mascot, and music, and from there, just let it grow.
Now, have you met with other people who have a similar passion as you for children's books and illustration?
I believe that's what this year is going to bring.
Okay, so soon you will be.
Yes, because I there's the I don't even want to say SCWBI. There's different groups that I'm going to be joining. So I can be around people that share that same passion and network. I'm realizing networking is so huge. And for so many years, it's just been like, as I'm talking to you now, I'm really realizing what I'm about to say, but it's just been like my family and I, but I realized, we definitely are going to have to network with people that have that same passion and drive.
There is definitely something to be said about surrounding yourself with similarly passionate people. You guys can, I guess brainstorm with one another or just kind of talk about what you're going through, and who knows what that can come out of it. Collaborations, crossovers. I feel like the landscape is huge for you here.
I agree. I'm excited. And that's why I'm excited. I'm excited to see what is in store. And I have met people along the way. I have met a few people along the way, but this time around, I want to make sure that the connections, that there's follow-ups and things like that, and accountability. And so I'm excited to see what this next year brings.
And what excites me though is you've been at Peacebe and this project for over 10 years.
Yeah, 12 years actually.
12 years. Did you ever during that time, Wayne, think, it's not happening? We're sufficient where we're at. I mean, because you talked about your brother helping you, if you're down, he helps you. But seriously, 12 years is a long time.
Yes. And for me, honestly, it's not like I've ever been stuck in that place, but it has come across my mind different times. There's so many times where, on this journey, you think like, okay, this is going to be it. This is it. We've had at least 9 experiences, this is it. This is going to be the thing that takes us to the next level. In those moments when you realize, wait, this isn't it, you get a little discouraged and you're like, what, you kind of get a little discouraged, but
sure.
Honestly, the discouragement doesn't last long. There was a point where it was just my brother and I, David and I. And at that time, I was willing to just let it go and try to go and not do it within the family, go to New York and try to go that route. And then my other brother invested. During that time, I was a little discouraged because I'm like, is this even going to happen? But to be honest, Amy, the discouragement hasn't lasted more than a month, if ever. There's times when I've taken breaks, but Peacebe's like my other kid. It's like I can't give up on my kids, so I can't give up on Peacebe. No matter how long it takes, I look at it, I'm affecting at least one kid that I'm doing my job, so sure. Just like sometimes your kids give you trouble or, you can't give up on them. So I kind of look at Peacebe the same way. So sometimes I get discouraged, but I'm more excited now than ever. And all the fear, the discouragement, the doubt, that's more in the past. And now I'm just excited and ready. So,
well, it's great that, you haven't let it keep you down significantly. Even a month, you came back. And I think that's the thing that people forget, observationally, that you're allowed to have those down times. In fact, I would go so far as to say it's healthy to have down times.
Yeah, it's true.
Would you say that you bounce back twice as strong now?
After all these years, yes. When you were talking, I remembered one time I was leaving my brothers. They at the time they stayed together, and there's so many times I've cried about Peacebe. Don't think that I'm superwoman and I'm super strong. I remember one time just coming. We had this meeting. I can't even tell you at this point what was that breaking point, but I just remember going in my car and just crying and thinking, what I've wasted so much time, and not only my time, but I felt bad because I felt that I brought other people in on this journey and I felt like I was disappointing them. And I just cried. And then something came on the radio. It was like the coolest thing. And I'm like, it put things back into perspective. And they use an analogy of a butterfly, and it put things back into perspective. And sometimes when I get down, then I get that quick reminder, or it could be a week or a month later, but you can't give up because it's really not about you. You know what? It's not even about your brothers, or, it's about these children. And when I keep my focus on the kids, then it keeps me humble, and it keeps me passionate, and it keeps me going. But there have been, there would be long conversation to go with some of the downs that we've been through, but we don't stay there. You know what I'm saying? We just have to keep going.
Well, I think that what you actually mentioned, something that I kind of want to talk about. You brought people into your own dream, and then you felt like you were disappointing them. Mm-hmm. That's an interesting way of saying it. Like, it's your dream, but this affected you. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. I think it's normal. I think a lot of us go through that. But you resolved it. But did you overcome that thinking of disappointing others in the resolution?
I have it. Yes, because I realized that my brothers have gotten involved they believe in Peacebe, and they see the vision. You know what I'm saying? And it's not up to me how much Peacebe is going to grow. That's out of my control. Mm-hmm. So I've learned through this whole process that we really don't have as much control as we think we do. Mm-hmm. And I feel for me that has become freeing, because a lot of times I would feel like, the Peacebe book should have been done in 2011, and they were actually done in 2014. It didn't happen when I thought it was going to happen, but it happened. You know what I'm saying? So over this time, I've learned that I really don't have control. What I can't control is the work and the faith that I put into this whole process, but I don't know how much it's going to grow. I don't know. I have faith that it's going to be a cartoon one day, but I don't know when. I don't know how, but my brothers and everybody who's been on this crazy journey with me, they believe in it. And one thing I don't try to, I have no control. All I could control is the amount of effort I put into this. And I have a lot of faith. My middle name is Faith. So, I have a lot of faith that it's going to happen when it's supposed to. It hasn't happened yet because maybe I'm not ready in certain areas, and I'm getting, I believe God's preparing me for the time when it is ready.
And I think that's all you can do, honestly. And the fact that, you came to that light, that moment of, oh, I realize this is how it is a huge step. A lot of us don't get there. A lot of us don't think like that. And that's awesome. And we're definitely going to have to check back on you to find out how things are going. And you're going to have to share with us when this does hit a network and tell us, hey, what about this? I mean, it might not even be a traditional network, right? I mean, you could go to Netflix.
Yeah, that's what they've mentioned. There's so many. One of my brothers, they mentioned that Netflix, and I forgot another one as well. But the possibilities are endless,
sure.
But that's one of the things that they recently brought up as well.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to come back and tell us what that is. I mean, people are gonna want to know, and we need to know where to find Peacebe and his watch. Heartwatch. So
awesome.
You're going to have to do that. But before you go, Leneen, we're going to have to ask you, what is one thing, as someone who is currently chasing their dreams, you're the best qualified person to share this. What is one thing you would recommend to someone, one action you would recommend to someone today to do to chase their own dreams?
An action. Mine would be, it's not necessarily, it's kind of like a thought process. You have to realize that your dream is bigger than you. For so many years, I put so much pressure on myself, and then it kind of made me like stagnant. Your dream is bigger than you. Anybody with a dream, you have to realize that their dream is helping others. If you're a singer, you're singing to an audience. If you're a teacher, you're teaching children. If you are an MC, you're talking to the people listening. Everybody's dream is for other people. So once you realize that your dream is bigger than you, then it's going to take a lot of pressure off of you, and it's going to give you a bigger purpose, and it's also going to keep you humble. For many years, I just put so much pressure, and I wasn't able to be creative because I was so anxious all the time. So that's the best advice I would give, is realize that your dream is bigger than you. That counts as an action. That would be my best advice.
I think it is acceptable.
Cool. Okay.
I think it's acceptable and something, you're right, people should kind of keep in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Leneen, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story. I can't wait to see what happens with Peacebe and where he goes from here.
Thank you so much, Amy. And I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. And I wish you all the success as well.
And guys, that was Leneen Faith, author and creator of Peacebe and the Heartwatch. And it's really a cool cartoon, guys. You got to check it out. Go to peacebekids.com, get the books, take a look, share the knowledge with your kids and their school. And maybe we can spread it across the US and the world, because it is a global thing. You know, these are character traits. It's not necessarily US traits. It's kid traits, you know? So definitely share it with your people. You can get it, the books from the website, and, you know, use Leneen as inspiration and motivation for your own dream and dream chase that you have. You know, she's 12 years going and she's still going strong. Okay. So if you guys want more information and all the links that I mentioned, as well as some other links for Leneen, you can find it over at the show notes page, chasingdreamshq.com/episode 103. That's episode 103. Till next time, guys, keep chasing.
Thank you so much for listening to Chasing Dreams. Amy would love to connect with you and hear all about your pursuit of chasing your dreams. Connect with her on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram via @ChasingDreamsHQ. Or you can find Amy on Twitter @AmyJ21. That's AIMEEJ21. Be sure to visit headquarters over at ChasingDreamsHQ.com for more inspiration, motivation, and resources to help with your own dream chase. We hope you'll join Amy next week, and until then, keep chasing.